So probably the first thing you would like to do when you open your new account is in Cultiwise is to set up your first farm and your first fields. And yeah, as you can see, first when you open Cultiwise, you can see the farm menu where you can see all your current farms that with the pin of their location as well. But let's say that we are a user and we want to set up our the new farm. So intuitively, there's a button for add farm where the add farm formula opens up and we can set up the basic information like name, let's say the demo farm, uh, address, or we can just set pin on the map and it will be showing over there. So we can try it somewhere random in the middle and also set up the country of United States. And we can just submit. And now we should be able to see, yeah, we have our first demo farm located here.
Yeah.
Uh, we have a couple of options. If we have already created the farm, we can edit the info that we have just put. We can change the location by changing the location of the pin or change name or even the country where it's located. So yeah, we can change this default information whenever you want. Okay, we step in the first farm. As you can see, it's empty. So we would probably like to add some fields that we will be using. You can see that on the left side, there are currently no fields. So we can click and add a new field. Also, very similar as in farms, we will put down the field name, field name, maybe even some location description when some fields will have like similar or same names. Field
Yeah.
1, for example.
Okay.
And there are pretty much two ways how to import the boundaries of the field. The first one, the more easier way is to import the zipped shape file with the border. So for example, this one. And yeah, when I open the field or this boundary, you can see that the boundaries like uploaded into the map and you can see the boundaries. And then maybe if you would like to modify them a bit, there's this drawing tools panel on the right
Yes.
side. And we can even modify the boundary that we have just put in if we would like to do some changes over there.
Okay.
Or we can just delete it all. And let's say we don't have the shape file with the border of the field, we can just draw it from the scratch. So yeah, let's say that this is my field. So I'll just quickly click around the border and yeah, we can add the field. Or you can even combine these two methods to import the border as a shapefile and then modify it with these drawing tools. And when we submit, we see that our first field has been already created. But as with farms, we can anytime modify these fields, so we can anytime later change the boundaries of each field or name or whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much very easy and straightforward process how to create the farms and fields. So I'll go back into our field, and yeah, we can also delete the field if it's no more in our farm. So we have our first farm, our first field set up. So let's say we would like to upload our first zone data into this field. So you can see up front on the right side, there's this uploads button. So when we click on it, we will click on upload the new data set. And there we have these two options. Defaultly, there's just option upload in browser, but some users uh, sometimes experience some problem with browser, like slower uploads or poor internet connections. So we add another options, upload also via third-party application, which can upload the data directly to the server, which may increase the upload speed or help with the internet connection issues or stability. But usually we recommend upload everything through the browser, but there's also this option if it will be needed. So I'll set up in which farm and which field we want to upload this data. It was Cultiwise demo for this specific field, I think, and it was demo farm, and yeah, our field name. The important thing is to choose the correct multispectral camera type. Just because different multispectral camera has different band orders, which may be doing some problems when we are calculating spectral indices, because yeah, no, they might be in different order, so the multispectral index could be wrongly calculated. So
There's
important
one
thing is,
question here.
sorry,
Yesterday, I uploaded just an RGB data set.
yeah,
You know, so for that I chose the DJI Mavic 3 multispectral because it was a 20 megapixels sensor.
yeah,
So I could do it. So is there a problem if I just choose any and I upload just the RGB?
yeah, that's fine. If you're uploading just RGB photos, it doesn't really matter which camera you set up. And then we can set up the capture date just to later know when this exact data set was flown. Okay, so I'll click next, and now we have these two
Yes.
boxes where we can pretty much drag and drop our pictures. So I'll try to find some demo data set. I'm not sure if I will find any pictures to. Oh, okay, there might be some or not. Uh, okay, it doesn't really matter. I can choose whatever. You basically just mark all the pictures you want to upload and just click open and do the pretty much same thing with the multispectral pictures. Or as the was mentioned, if you are uploading just RGB photos, you will choose just RGB photos. Uh, yeah, and that's pretty much it. We can click next. We will choose which multispectral indices we would like to calculate, and maybe even left some note for us if there is a
Okay.
request for some specific prescription map, or yeah, whatever. So you can leave us the note with the upload if there will be like any specific request for this upload. And yeah, if you mark the prescription required, you can even choose for which terminal the prescription map should be like made for. And once we click finish, the upload will start. And yeah, during the upload, you should not close this browser tab, because it's uploading directly through the browser. So when you close this tab, also the upload will close. So it's necessary to uh, leave this tab open until the upload is finished. But once it will be finished, everything is pretty much good to go. You can close the browser, and everything will start automatically. I won't be waiting till the upload will be done, because yeah, I probably choose some big data. But maybe we can quickly get through also uploading through the SciDAC if there will be need for it. The beginning is pretty much the same. We choose the farm, the field, camera type, and so on and so on. And then there's also a like step-by-step tutorial how to approach it. So first you have to download and install the CyberDAC app, which link is over there. So once I get there, it's free. So just click for download and install the application, and then you download this configuration file when you click on this marked text. And when we open this configuration file, which will take a second, Mhm. I'll try one more time. Oh, okay, here it is. So uh, when you open this configuration file, this CyberDuck window will appear, and you can see there are two folders over there. So let's say we want to upload the RGB. So you just double click on the RGB. You will choose the data for upload. So let's say I would like to upload uh, these. Let's say these are the RGB photos. So I'll just drag and drop them over there. And this is the arrow pointing to the left side. So I'll get back. I'll open the multispectral folder. Also just drag and drop multispectral photos over there. And there's on the bottom, there's also this CyberDuck window, which is showing up the status of uploads. And once everything will be uploaded and finished, we can go back onto the Cultiwise site, uh, check this, that you have already uploaded all data sets, basically that the upload is done, and you just click ready for processing. And yeah, that will be it. So, okay, now we know how to create fields, create farms, and upload data to them. So let's take a look. How does it, how it will be in the current field when all the data will be uploaded and calculated. So I'll open just, for example, this one field, which only contains the NDVI layer. Okay, I will choose different one. Okay, here we have both layers, the RGB orthophoto and NDVI. When at the beginning, when you're uploading data, when you will also mark the other indices to calculate the other one, for example, AVI, it will also be shown over there. But currently on this field, we have just these two layers, the RGB orthophoto, which you can just take a look at it and basically just choose the opacity. For example, when you would like to compare it with the NDVI layer, so you open the NDVI layer, you can also lower the opacity of the layer, and you can maybe some check how does it look with the when you're comparing to the RGB. And you can also change the scaling of colors and also this color gradient. Yeah, that's pretty much straightforward. It's image viewing. Now we can get to viewing on the satellite imagery. So there's this option just under the drone data. There's satellite imagery. For the satellite imagery, we're using two services, the Sentinel and the Planet. And you can see it here in this calendar, where each date is underlined either by green or by blue. Green means that we have the Sentinel data from this specific date, and blue means that we have Planet data. The Sentinel data are pretty much free, and you can access them with pretty much like no Cultiwise license. They're free for everyone. But let's say the disadvantages of them, that you can see that in this calendar, that the Planet images are much more often, pretty much every day. And the Sentinel, they're guaranteeing, I think, the two images
What is that?
on
What is the
each week. Sorry,
resolution? What is
the resolution.
10
Yeah,
meters per pixel?
the resolution of Sentinel-2 is 10 meters per pixel, and resolution of Planet is 3 meters per pixel.
Wow. Okay, good.
So yeah, I will show it up. Yeah, big difference.
Yes, if I'll just may interrupt what Michael said, it's approximately 3 times bigger chance of having an image in a week, but
Uh-huh.
it's getting exponential because of the cloudiness. So in the end, it's even more than 3 times better chance with a better resolution. Therefore, the emphasizing on the planet imagery with the decision making of the farmers, it's will get a play a very crucial role. I mean, not just towards the future, but even right now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, that's very true because yeah, when I click, let's say that we are using just the Sentinel data, I click on the Sunday this week, and you can see that there's a cloudiness 40%, which is not like very good if we want to like to prepare like the prescription map from it, because pretty much the 40% will be pretty much unusable. So we can go back. Yeah, then it's zero, but uh, there's 60%. So yeah, there's sometimes it happens that just from the Sentinel-2 data, the last month is pretty much unusable because it's always cloudy. So yeah, that's also the advantage of the planet. And yeah, we can check how the images are comparing. As I said, the planet is a paid feature, so I'll have to quickly just find the field that we have the planet pictures activated. Okay, I think it's this one. So, oh, there's, just give me a second, please. Satellite imagery. I'll choose the date when the cloudiness was at 0, so it will be fair comparison. Yeah, for example, July 15th. I will show the NDVI layer. Yeah, so that's the resolution of the planet, and now we can compare it uh, with the Sentinel-2 data. Yeah, I think very clearly difference between the resolution of these two. Okay, that's for the just viewing satellite data, but we can do much more with them. So I'll get to that. If we go a bit more down, we can see the prescriptions options over there, and we can create new prescription. I'll start with the generic zoning, which we can do both ways, or by two ways from satellite imagery, but we can even use the soil samples. I have soil samples just for one specific field, so I'll show it on this one. So I click on new prescription map, generic zoning, and from soil samples. As with the field boundaries, for example, it has to be zipped shapefile format. So I'll open it up. So these are the soil samples. Yeah, you can see each dot is representing uh, one pH soil sample, and we can choose how many zones we want to create, and so on. We can play with it later. So now I would take probably a couple of seconds to generate. Yeah, we can. Oh, it's already there. So yeah, I choose the 3 zone counts to create, and there's also these smoothing options, because sometimes there are these very like small polygons are created, which most machineries will definitely ignore because they cannot change the rate on single nozzles. So generally you want to avoid these very small polygons. That's the reason why we implemented this smoothing feature over there. So now we can take a look how it will affect this map. So I'll change smoothing to 3. And now when I click on the generate, yeah, the polygon is still here, but it's smaller. So maybe we can, if we set the smoothing at 5, it will finally disappear. Yeah, here it is. And you can see that this map the edges are much more like smoothed out. Maybe we can even change the number of zones if we would like to have 4 of them. And yeah, now you can see that we have 4 zones over there. We can set the rate for each one. You can see what will be the total prescription on the whole field, and yeah, pretty much that's it. You can name the layer, set the date, set the machinery type for which this application map will be used for, and or change the unit, because these maps could be used like for not just variable fertilizing, but also for the, let's say, variable seeding, uh, and so on and so on. And you can even use like the solid or liquid fertilizer, so you can change the unit. And yeah, we can pretty much save later, and it's ready to use, ready to export. That Okay, and now we can see that this prescription map is already here. Yeah, we can export it and use it. And also we can do pretty much same thing from the satellite imagery. Now it's here the same calendar on this specific field. I'm not sure if we have the planet implemented, so I will choose some date from the Sentinel imagery. Yeah, here it is. Cloudiness is at 0, which is perfect. Same as with the soil samples, we choose the number of zones, and it no, it cannot satellite imagery. Hmm. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. My mistake. Yeah, because yeah, I didn't show the zone. Okay, so when you choose the correct date with the ideally zero cloudiness, you can check the zone, check the NDVI layer, set up the number of zones, now set up the smoothing, and we can generate zones as well. Very similar as with the soil samples. Yeah, we can set up the rate, machinery time, and also save layer, and it's pretty much good to go. It's already generated. We can export it and use it anytime. So it's very quick, and yeah, that's it. Also, okay, so that's the one usage of satellite imagery, but there's another options, because for seeding and fertilizing, sometimes because the generic zoning is using just one satellite image, just from one specific date. But we are also using and doing analysis. Usually it's called yield potential, but we are doing analysis from last, let's say, 7 years, when our algorithms find the peak of the each season. We choose this specific satellite image, then we pretty much average out and finds what are the zones with the highest, let's say, yield potential and lowest. And we create very similar map as the generic zoning, but it's not made just from the one satellite image, but it's pretty much composition and average from last 7 years. So that's for this fertilizing and seeding options. You can select for because this tool is usually used not just for one field, because when you are a farmer and you want to do, let's say, variable fertilizing, you would like to do it on all of your field, on, let's say, all of your field with one specific plant. So you can choose multiple fields. Also select the machinery type and number of zones. And when you click submit, we will get notifications, because this process is currently just, let's say, like semi-automatic, which means that we are doing the final check on the maps, because uh, there might be like huge changes 5 years ago on the field that might like get us the not accurate results. So we'll get notification that you would like to prepare the yield potential maps for the field you have chosen, and will run the script, check the maps, and it will be delivered to you. Okay, that was the generic zoning, yield potential, and I'll go back to the prescription because there are much more that we can do. Mm, hmm,
Yesterday, I uploaded a data set of agave,
okay.
and I am interested in doing the plant count. I wonder if I can do it with Cultiwise.
Oh, I'll quickly get to the plant count after the, or you would like to show it right now because it's like the pretty much the next step. I can show you how it could be done from the Cultiwise.
Do you think you can access my account?
I probably can. Well, I'm not sure. Give me a second. What is your account, please?
Luis at byts.com.
No, I don't have the credentials for your login.
Okay.
I'll get to the plant count section very very soon, so maybe we
Okay.
can
Okay.
talk about the details over there. So yeah, that was satellite. Okay, I know that was the generating prescription maps from the satellite imagery, which is good for like variable seeding and fertilizing. But for the weed detection, the resolution of the satellite imagery is like no nothing. We cannot detect 5 centimeter weed on the satellite image that has like 10 meters GSD. So for that we need the drone data. So I'll get to the field where I was. Okay, it could be also this one. So when I click on the prescriptions, there's create new prescription and weed detection. There we have pretty much three options. So I'll start, let's say the easiest one. That's the green on brown prescription. Uh, yeah, now we can see we can change the background layer. So let's say I would like to see it as an DVI layer. And for the application map settings, uh, there's pretty much one important thing, and that's this NDVI threshold, which means that you set up this threshold, and everything what will be up in terms of NDVI values will be sprayed, and everything what's underneath will be ignored. So we can try it out on this field. So I'll set this threshold, let's say 0.4. And there are these two options, make soil transparent and make weeds transparent. Now both are marked, so it means that pretty much everything in terms of our prescription maps is transparent. But when I unclick the make weeds transparent, now it's just the soil transparent. So everything which is green will be sprayed, will be in application map, and pretty much vice versa. So yeah, and maybe we can play out with the NDVI threshold a bit more. And once we're happy with the result, okay, let's say this looks fine, that we're covering all the weeds. We set up the buffer, let's say for 0.5 meter, set the machinery type, set the rate, and just click submit. And yeah, the map is being processed, so it will take, let's say, a couple of minutes to create this prescription map, and once it will be ready, it will be listed here in the prescriptions menu. Okay, that was for the green on brown detection. Now we can detection, which is uh, done with like similar approach as the plant count. So when I click on the weed detection, there's this section detect the weeds. And yeah, now we can see our RGB orthophoto. Pretty much only important thing to choose is what are we detecting in terms of plants and what are we detecting in terms of weeds. So currently we have very uh, we have very good and like large trained models for these two crops, corn and sugar beet, and these three weeds. But we are pretty much training the new models every day. And let's say that you would like to do the plant count on some different species. It can be done through the request. When you're uploading, for example, dataset, you can leave us a note. I would like to do plant count or this plant or this plant. And once we will train our model and we will be like confident that model is good enough to go to the let's say public, we will be adding much more crops and weeds to detect. So currently, as I said, we have confidently very good trained these two models for the crops, corn and sugar beet, and those three weeds. But yeah, we will be adding once we will train the models for the other crops and weeds. So let's say I will choose the sugar beet and grass weeds. Now on this specific field, I don't have probably either sugar beet, corn, or thistles. So maybe we can check the results on the other field. So those are the results from this. Yeah, this is the field with the corn, if I'm not wrong. It looks like. So
Oh wow.
okay. Oh, sorry. I'll get back in a
Wow, wow,
second.
wow.
So no. So this will be the layer which will be created once you will start this analysis. So you can see down there, there's which colors represent what. So here in lines, that is corn, and the red one should be detected weeds. And you can also see the like plant count on the whole field. And this could be used not just for like the count analysis, but also the creating of the prescription maps.
For
And
targeted spraying.
yeah, for targeted spraying, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's say we have already run the analysis for this field. Yeah, we can see that we have detected some thistles over there, and for example, maybe some grassweed on some different parts. Then we can click on create new prescription, weed detection, and green on green. And now we can see which plant types to include in application maps. So let's say I want a prescription map just for the thistles. So I'll leave just the thistles so we can see those are all detected thistles on the on the field. Or let's say I want to include broadleaves as well. I'll just set up the buffer, which will be added to each point, set up the machinery type, and yeah, pretty much when I click submit, the request for the processing uh, uh, will get, and the final prescription map should be processed in a couple minutes. So we can. I have already run this process for the prescription map, and this is the thistle map. So as you could see, this was the group of the thistles. So it created a buffer around it, and yeah, we have created the prescription map. This prescription map was created just for the thistles, so there's probably just a broadleaf that we have ignored because just the thistles were checked for creating of the prescription map. So yeah, that's it. Weed detection. Okay, so let's say now we have the prescription map created. Also, sorry, I forgot to mention, you can also draw your own prescription map if you would like to spray some areas just for the reasons you know. So yeah, there's also this option. You can use these drawing tools on the right side, and you can draw your own prescription map from the scratch, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, nothing spectacular, but it can be
No,
very
very
useful
useful.
in some
Yes.
situations.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Uh, okay, so let's say that we have a couple of the prescription maps created. So there's, you can see that someone was already playing with this specific one. Yeah, but we can also edit the already created prescription maps. So this is the first one. When we open it up, we can see that the red one means it will be sprayed for 200 liters, a green one for 300. The total prescription is taking around 9 hectares, which is a bit less than half of the fields, and the total volume savings will be around 70%. That's just the info, but we can also modify this created prescription map when we click on this pencil icon, and there are these options how to modify the prescription map. We can change the rate on some specific polygons. So let's say, okay, those are the huge weeds. They would need like a higher dose to apply. So you can uh, choose the polygons for the higher rate. I'll set the rate for 100, for example, for these three. I click save, and yeah, you can see now the green means that it will be sprayed for 400 liters, and so on and so on. So you can change the rate, or not on the whole map, but maybe on just some parts of the fields or on just some polygons. But there are more options. You can change the buffer. Uh, this applies for the whole map, so you can buffer up all the polygons a bit, or even like debuffer it, so shrink each polygons by a certain distance. You can even add new polygons. So let's say we have already created our prescription maps, but we would like to add some more polygons. So we can, as always, this drawing tools panel on the right side, we can click draw, and we can draw new polygons into existing prescription map. Oh, I can draw a couple of more. I set up the rate for them and just click save. Yeah, and they immediately will appear on the prescription map. We can also delete them. Yeah, and just click delete. Yeah, I want to delete this feature. Yeah, they have been deleted. And we can also cut polygons. So let's say you don't want to delete the whole polygon, just some part of it. So we can cut it. So we will just choose the area you would like to cut. So let's say I want to cut this right side of the polygon. And once I click save, yeah, the polygon was cut it at half, and the right side was deleted. And I think that's pretty much it, and sums up all the important things and workflow with the Cultiwise. So
I have
also I
one
will.
question, Michal.
Oh, sure, I'm listening.
What about the yield estimation?
Yield estimation,
Or the
like
height, or yes, like let's say that I want to estimate how much corn I am going to harvest. Is there like an option for that, where I can have like the yield estimation? That would be one question. And the
like in
second
terms of.
question,
Oh, so okay.
will be if oh fuck. Oh yes, the height. If I am able to measure somehow the height of the wheat or of the corn or whatever.
Yeah, we can do the analysis on the height as well. It could be done from the request, because the request a bit more serious and more complicated processing, but it could be done by the request. And for the estimation of
May I answer the yield estimation? Yes,
Yes, sir.
Luis, it's a pretty also difficult topic because right now the yield estimations and the workflow they are done in several softwares are, let's say, not very precise. It can be done basically also from the Planet or premium satellite imagery with the unique algorithms for each crop. Of course, based on the biomass that is on the field and so on, and combining this layer also with our yield potential map can do it very easily. And if you want this feature to have in the Cultiwise, it's no problem, but it will be again upon request done. So this is the
Okay.
answer.
Okay. No, that's perfect. Yeah, that's what I wanted to listen. Good. Yes, because these two things, I think that they are going to be requested from several of my clients. I think that we can use Cultiwise per stages, meaning let's say that it is harvest time, so then we can do a couple of mappings or even just using the satellite imagery and then provide a deliverable. But then for example, also when it is going to be seeding season, we can also get some outputs. So I think that most of my questions have been answered. Um, a little bit, I am a little bit confused about the pricing model. So in this case, there's no subscription fee, or is there?
Exactly. It's first of all the Cultiwise. It's a pay-as-you-go model, so you're just paying for what you actually use,
That's
nothing
great.
ahead. And
Yes.
there is a starter features, which is Sentinel satellite imagery, which is the manual drawing of everything on the field, and soil samples analysis. That's for free.
Okay,
Then
good.
for a Satellite Pro in the package, there are the premium satellites imagery and the yield potential, which are paid by the hectare. And then for the Drone Pro, it's paid for the upload of the data. So per hectare of the data upload to process the imagery and have the end orthomosaic. And when the customer wants to do any actionable insights based on the data, it's €8 per hectare, but it's included the processing. So it's in the end for that insight, it's €3, but it's included for orthophoto processing. So whether it is AI-based segmentations, or if it's application map for either green on brown analysis, or any actionable resource that is from the Cultiwise, either automatic workflow or upon the request. So we made it very, very simple in the pricing.
No, yes, it is. Yeah, I really like that. Same thing for the plant count. For the plant count, should be same thing around €8 per hectare.
Hectare, yes, that's AI detection. So yes.
Okay, and then for the yield estimation upon request, how much would that be?
That would be the €4 per hectare because it's based on the Planet satellite imagery, and then also the follow-up with the customer also incorporated the yield potential map, which is another €4, but it's the map that takes for account 10 years. So then the yield estimation can be done very precisely for the next couple of years, and also the Planet satellite imagery is valid for the 1 year. So it's €4 per hectare, but it's for a whole year. So there's a lot of decisions that can be made using these two features.
Okay, good. Then
Because
another question.
Because of the frequency of the imagery and the quality of the imagery. You understand that?
Yes, sorry. Then I think that there's also a storage fee, right?
Yes, it's a storage fee, but it's also for the customers. They'll be notified what's the storage, what's the fee that they have to pay all the time, and whether it's paid monthly or yearly. I mean, the top price for 1 terabyte of the data on the cloud, it's €400 a year or €39 a month. But of course, we can delete the data as they go. So for what they need and what they don't need. Eventually, in a Cultiwise, they will be able to do it themselves and see the storage in real time.